I'm Wendy Rutledge, and this is Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. Here's what is coming your way next on this week's Island News. He's called the Lake Worth Waterkeeper. His task, to protect the quality of water in and around the Lake Worth Lagoon. We'll bring you his latest report on the cyanobacteria crisis at Lake O. There is a way every Palm Beacher can help to reduce the harmful bacterial load headed toward the Lake Worth Lagoon, how the town's summer fertilizer ordinance guides residents to do the right thing. The recent CDC change in guidelines allowing vaccinated people to go without a mask is liberating to some, confusing to others. We'll show you where on the island you can and cannot go mask-free. With an average age of 68 on Palm Beach, what some are calling a refreshing trend toward more youthful public representation. Why the younger generation is stepping up to town government. And this may look like a pile of cords, lights, and boxes, but coming soon, a state-of-the-art facility meant to enhance our coverage here at Palm Beach TV. It is all coming up next. The buildup of the toxic blue-green algae at Lake Okeechobee is accelerating at a rapid pace, caused, of course, by the summer heat and rain. But we're going to get a first-hand look at this crisis going on at Lake Okeechobee from the Lake Worth Waterkeeper. Ronaldo Diaz, the Lake Worth Waterkeeper, joined Executive Committee Directors of the Palm Beach Civic Association to share his knowledge and insights about the toxic cyanobacterial buildup at Lake Okeechobee and, closer to home, in the canals that feed right into the Lake Worth Lagoon.
Lake O water is obviously contaminated. It's loaded with legacy pollution. That is what's driving the cyanobacteria bloom in the lake. And so as that lake water is discharged, wherever you follow the Lake O water is where you're going to find the cyanobacteria. A lot of people like to call it blue-green algae. I call it what it is. It's cyanobacteria. It's actually a bacteria. It's not an algae. It's a bacteria that just happens to somewhat behave like an algae. Lake Okeechobee water is getting discharged primarily through that L10 canal, which is the middle one on the left there. And so our watershed can be split in half, and the western half is the EAA. It's those three canals, and then the eastern half would be the C51. And
wow, looks like we're a dead target here.
Yeah, precisely. Pahokee Marina is, of course, on the lake, and it's a standout because one reason I call it the canary in a coal mine, because when the lake is primed for a super bloom or really any kind of bloom, the marina gets it first, and that's because that wall that surrounds the marina and the docks themselves don't really allow for water to move through efficiently.
The agricultural products that get irrigated with this contaminated water, are they safe to eat?
No. No. This is where water is being drawn out of to irrigate the crops. So there's already research out there by Orca and other organizations that point out that cyanobacteria does, in fact, if you're using this water to irrigate the crops, the cyanobacteria can go up into the food and, where it essentially becomes harvested for human consumption later.
Oh my God.
Chairman Bob Wright urged Diaz to speak loudly and boldly to all stakeholders and decision makers about this dangerous toxic threat. We are warned that summer heat and rain will intensify the toxic buildup. Palm Beach TV is committed to covering this urgent story as it plays out over the coming summer months. As we approach the summer storm and rainy season, the town of Palm Beach is going proactive. It is asking every single resident to reduce the amount of toxic runoff from the island by eliminating the use of chemical fertilizers.
So these are very easily removed, with a little dishwashing soap, and it'll kill them.
That's one of Dragana Connaughton's tricks to kill whitefly and other garden pests without using pesticides. Though her yard is fertilizer and pesticide free, what concerns her is the inevitable chemical runoff from island gardens who still do use chemical sprays.
They are already having huge algae blooms there. So this could be very dangerous for Palm Beach. And they've already noticed that we're having some bacteria in Lake Worth right now. And it's a big health issue, not only for the marine life, but for humans.
Human health threatened by exposure to cyanobacteria, present at Lake Okeechobee, and disturbingly already found in the Lake Worth Lagoon. Health issues that range from liver damage to neurological disorders like ALS and Alzheimer's. In a proactive effort to reduce any potential contribution to an already dangerous situation, the town's summer fertilizer ordinance will be enforced again for the third year.
From June 1st till September 30th, the town has drafted an ordinance where you're not allowed to use fertilizers.
What's really important is that many residents leave in the summer, including myself. Some, and what's important is that before they leave, they direct and instruct their property managers and their landscapers to not apply any fertilizer to their properties while they're gone until October 1st.
A message already circulated directly to those landscape companies servicing Palm Beach.
Before this ordinance is going into effect, we did push out all the information to all landscapers that do business here in town, so they have it. So they've been forewarned, and we've seen good compliance last year.
Residents complying with this ordinance, they are then not contributing to the problem.
Exactly. And so if everybody complies, if every homeowner, please ask their gardeners, what are you using, or don't use any fertilizer right now, because it is just adding fuel to the fire.
Most of the island residents are now vaccinated, which means, according to the new CDC guidelines, that most of them can now go mask-free. But what we're seeing on the island is a little bit different. Most people choosing to continue wearing a mask.
All the numbers show that people of a younger age that are healthy and active are at such a small, minute chance of catching or even contributing to asymptomatic. Studies show that there's really no spread. So, I just feel that we should be kind of liberated, and people who want to protect themselves should absolutely. I think they should get vaccinated. I support vaccines. I think they should wear a mask if they want to wear a mask. I think we should have liberty and freedom.
Jay, a Palm Beach Publix shopper, taking advantage of the new CDC guidelines lifting the mask requirement for those who are fully vaccinated. But casual observation would tell you that despite the new mask liberation, most are still cautious.
I was personally in Publix today. They don't have the mask mandate, but about 80% of the people I saw, including myself, had a mask on. I'm fully vaccinated, but whenever I go into places where there's a large group of people, I still wear a mask.
Palm Beacher Barbara DuPont also choosing to wear a mask, though fully vaccinated, because, as she told me in our windblown conversation, she doesn't know who is and isn't vaccinated inside the store. Meantime, town buildings will now allow those fully vaccinated to go mask-free.
If you've been fully vaccinated that is, you're not required to wear a mask in the building. Now, some people may choose to still wear the mask, and we would encourage that. I want people to feel safe.
Same goes for the Mandel Recreation Center. You can now work out without a mask if you are fully vaccinated. Businesses retain the right to require both employees and customers to mask up, though most are relaxing the mask requirement for customers. Fully vaccinated people are believed to be unlikely to get or spread COVID-19. It's the unvaccinated who are vulnerable.
The mask requirement is really about protecting those that need to be protected. The people that need to be protected are the people that are unvaccinated. They're the ones at risk.
With the recent election of 35-year-old Ted Cooney to the Palm Beach Town Council, we are seeing a younger generation speak up and step up to serve on the town government. But Ted is not the only one who's doing this. There are other next-gen political aspirants.
I recall sitting in the audience when a younger Ted Cooney applied to be a member of ORCOM, and they selected him, and it was quite surprising, and he's done extremely well.
Now, of course, 35-year-old Ted Cooney has earned himself a seat at the dais as the newly elected town council member.
Formal training in urban design, specifically traditional urban design, I think that will be my starting point for, does this project add to this town?
29-year-old Lizzie Connaughton seems to be following a similar path. At this month's town council meeting, Lizzie threw her hat in the ring for the one available spot on the Architectural Commission. A trained architect working on acquiring her license, she barely missed getting the appointment.
She's highly qualified, and she was born and raised here in Palm Beach, kind of like our newest town council member. And certainly the younger generation. And I think all of us are very excited to see some of these longtime Palm Beachers come back to the island as adults, young adults, and participate in government.
Lizzie says she is not discouraged and will apply again. Her mission: to preserve the character and heritage of the island.
There's so much wealth coming in, and I mean, people who want to do things and they don't realize that they may want to change the island by what they want to do. We risk losing that essence of the island. This town is built on all these scales, urban all the way down to the details, like the very best of the best in terms of an architectural tradition. So, yeah.
We're going to take you now into a space that is truly a mess. Nothing but a bunch of cords and boxes, lights. Who knows? But what is it going to be? So here's a bunch of boxes and something that looks like a curtain and television monitor, some chairs, some big lights, a whole bunch of more boxes and unwrappings and desk to the highest bidder, tripods, new chairs, old chairs. What is this space going to be? Let there be light. Philip, what are you working on?
Right now, I'm putting together what's going to be the news desk, but because I need to get it together before the actual interview desk, which is going to go here before it shows up. Otherwise, there won't be enough room in the room to put things together.
So are we burying the lead? What is this space going to be?
Yeah, it's our new studio, and it's mainly going to be used for interviews. So we're going to have curtain along this wall, TV, and a big, nice looking wood desk with our lovely red chairs to be set up to interview all the important people in town.
And that funny looking background behind you will not be what it looks like when it's done.
No, it will be hidden. Yeah, it's a strange angled room. I don't know if there's actually a 90-degree corner in it, which makes it a bit of a challenge, but it's going to be nice when we're done.
And when would you say we're going to be done?
It's a good question. Two of the important things we're missing is the table that we're going to do the interview at and the cameras that we're going to film them with. Both are theoretically on their way, but in this day and age, nobody knows exactly what that means.
So realistically, the fall?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have it all put together by the end of the summer if nothing else goes wrong. And then, yeah, it'll be a major working entity in the fall.
That wraps up this week's Palm Beach TV. We thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the program, please share the link below with a friend. If you are not a member of the Palm Beach Civic Association, we hope you'll join us. If you are a member, please renew. And we will see you next week on Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association, where membership matters.